What does it take for an artificial intelligence startup worth $9 billion United States dollars to abandon weeks of negotiations with some of the fastest racing squads on the planet? The name is Lewis Hamilton. Perplexity AI is not your average Silicon Valley darling. Built as a knowledge answer engine, the company has hauled in funding rounds that rocketed its valuation from barely known to $9 billion United States dollars in less than a year, with fresh talks that could push that figure to $14 billion. Investors love its promise of instant, citation-backed answers. But Perplexity's founders want more than boardroom applause. They want global visibility. Formula One looked perfect. 1,000 horsepower hybrids, 300 kilometers per hour, tape-measured drama, and a weekly television audience that spans every continent. Before signing anything, Perplexity opened quiet conversations with Red Bull Racing, Aston Martin and Williams, mapping merchandising rights and garage activations. Yet one question kept surfacing in every internal call: is a side pod logo enough? And that doubt set the stage for a pivot no one in the paddock saw coming. By late April 2025, Perplexity's term sheet with Red Bull was said to be only a few legal tweaks away from completion. Then Oracle, Red Bull's title backer, flagged a conflict of interest. The cloud giant competes with Perplexity's infrastructure partner and did not welcome another data search label beside its own. The proposal stalled, and similar roadblocks surfaced at Aston Martin and Williams. Perplexity's leadership realized that stitching its brand to a car also meant inheriting a tangle of rival sponsors, political vetoes, and on-track performance swings. One poor qualifying session could bury their logo under race weekend turmoil. So the search engine's executives asked a radical question: what if we sponsor a person, not a machine? That single shift of perspective detonated the original strategy and set phones buzzing from Silicon Valley to Monaco. Seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton pulls audiences that stretch far beyond motorsport. He co-chairs the Met Gala, produces Hollywood films alongside Brad Pitt, and fronts sustainable fashion campaigns that sell out in minutes. His social channels speak to literally tens of millions, and brand audience studies show a higher engagement rate than many Fortune 100 companies. Perplexity's Vice President of Business, Ryan Foote, summed it up in one interview: once all team options were on the table, it was very clear Lewis Hamilton was the best partner for us. Hamilton's appeal is not just reach, it is curiosity. Followers watch him swap telemetry notes with engineers, voice climate advocacy at the United Nations, and design vegan leather race shoes within the same Instagram story arc. That blend of tech, style, and purpose aligns perfectly with an AI brand, hungry to look both brainy and relevant. And so, what began as a traditional sponsor search became something much larger. The first instance of an AI engine choosing an individual F1 athlete over an entire garage. The contract, whose financial terms remain undisclosed, but are rumoured in mid-eight-figure territory, plants the Perplexity emblem on Hamilton's scarlet Ferrari helmet, starting at the Monaco Grand Prix. That is no minor billboard. The driver's visor cam, post-race interviews, and global highlight reels make the helmet the single most replayed piece of equipment in modern Formula One broadcasts. Perplexity also secured an exclusive content series, quickfire Q&A videos, in which Hamilton voices topical queries. How hot does a carbon fibre brake disc run? Or why do soft compound tyres degrade so fast? And Perplexity answers in real time on screen. The idea is to turn technical fascination into app downloads. Behind the scenes, Perplexity's engineers will gain anonymized sensor streams from Ferrari's data lake to stress test the search engine's ability to parse millions of data points per second. The result is a sponsorship that doubles as a product demonstration, answers forged at 300 kilometers per hour. For Hamilton, the AI tie-in is chapter latest in an off-track empire that already spans fashion, film, and venture capital. Dawn Apollo Films, the production company he co-founded, wrapped principal photography last month on F1, the Brad Pitt blockbuster shot at Rio Grande Prix with fully rigged cars. Earlier this year, he invested in a seed round for a plant-based leather startup and launched an eco-streetwear capsule that sold out online in 2 minutes. Each move reinforces the image of an athlete entrepreneur who refuses to be boxed into one domain. By aligning with Perplexity, Hamilton taps directly into the AI boom, adding tech credentials to his resume and leveraging Perplexity's proprietary large language models to power behind-the-scenes content for his Mission 44 charity. The arrangement also reportedly includes equity, giving Hamilton a share in any future public offering. That aligns him financially with the company's success, an incentive structure far richer than traditional sticker deals. Formula One is often described as chess played at blistering speed, and data has become the queen on that board. Each car's telemetry stream fires off more than 1 million data points per second. Tyre surface temperatures, exhaust flow rates, suspension deflection down to fractions of a millimetre. Traditional engineers need dashboards. AI systems devour the raw numbers and spit out strategy suggestions in milliseconds. Perplexity's leadership openly admits that its next-generation models aim to provide on-the-spot reasoning, precisely the kind demanded during a 2-second pit-stop call. The company is betting that viewers who witness an AI logo on Hamilton's visor will subconsciously associate its answer engine with the same speed and accuracy that decides podiums. The overarching narrative: if Perplexity can keep up with tyre run degradation and crosswind spikes in Monte Carlo's tunnel, it can surely summarise your research paper in seconds at home. And what happened next would shock everyone, Hamilton joked in an internal video, as neural nets plotted the optimal line through Sainte-Devote. The clip garnered 18 million impressions within 48 hours, an early taste of how content, competition and computation will mesh throughout the season. How much is that helmet space really worth? Sponsorship analysts crunch exposure minutes, on-screen logo size, demographic overlap and social echo. Estimates place Hamilton's combined digital reach north of 180 million people across platforms, with engagement rates eclipsing entire team accounts. Translating that into advertising equivalent value suggests that each race weekend could deliver low 8-figure impressions for Perplexity, before factoring in viral clips or media interviews. For context, Red Bull's title agreement with Oracle runs roughly $300 million across 5 seasons. Perplexity's targeted spend on a single superstar therefore looks economical, especially when you consider that the search engine avoids car development cost caps, shared branding space and sponsor conflicts. Instead, they receive pure narrative ownership, AI and speed, condensed into one driver's story arc. That model may foreshadow a broader trend. As Formula One expands into the United States and Southeast Asia, brands are learning that a charismatic athlete can sometimes deliver a cleaner message than a paint job on 30 square meters of carbon fiber. In 2025, the frontier of sports sponsorship is no longer limited to carbon fiber bodywork or pit wall banners. It lives in the minds of viewers who tap a phone seconds after the checkered flag drops, craving instant context. By choosing Lewis Hamilton over an entire racing team, Perplexity AI demonstrated that the fastest way to the future might be through one helmet and one human story, rather than a livery covered in stickers. The move reframes what success looks like off the track, influence measured in ideas shared, not just points scored. And for fans, the next time Hamilton lifts his visor after a blistering pole lap, a small logo will remind us that the race for answers can be just as exhilarating as the sprint for first place. Where will AI steer our curiosity next? The grid is wide open and the lights are about to go out.